Namaste. Good afternoon. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about daily practice. And speaking of practice, I want to rehash my practice. At 12 years old, which is a 3, 1 plus 2 is 3, ironic. But 12 years old, I was first exposed to, my mom's bookshelf had a Paramahamsa Yogananda, the autobiography of a yogi. She had other things, Madame Blavatsky, and she had some very esoteric, Western esoteric books, and I got my hands on them. But it was the Hindu of Paramahamsa that really hit me. And it turns out he's a Kriya Yoga practitioner. Interesting, of the 4 yogas. But so my first exposure was, but he was very Westernized, and he appealed to Westernized sensibilities. He talked about Jesus. He lived in the U.S. from an early age and up until his death in 1952, which makes me 4. Anyway, that was Hinduism. And from 12 to, and stuck with Hinduism probably for at least, well, maybe it was the beginning of almost 20 years of the Hinduism. But, I exposed myself to a lot of the other books and writings, and got an introduction to Zen at a very early age, and liked Zen. And then later on, I was to get into a practice that would last another 33 years, and this is Rinzai Zen, one of the 2 major Japanese traditions, Soto Zen and Rinzai Zen. And we use the koan, the Japanese puzzle, word puzzle, and I stayed with this practice all up until after 33 years, I gave up, because silencing the mind, which I thought was my be-all and end-all, clarity, and to get to clarity, I thought that it needed to silence the mind, which to me at that time meant conquering the mind completely, which I gave up. But then I was introduced, I came across my teacher who was in the Chan, the Chinese Zen tradition. Bodhidharma, Damo they call him, was the 28th patriarch, came to England and came to China, migrated from Nepal, basically around Nepal, Indian border, up into southern China, southwestern China, and began his practice. And there was a series of 5 additional patriarchs, with Wei Ning, the 6th patriarch, particularly ringing home with me. But I was introduced to this practice by my teacher that I was to be with for 6 years, leading me up to, I left my teacher and went on and had my enlightenment experiences. But today's about practical things that I do on a daily basis. I'm retired, so I got a lot of time. I'm doing 1 video a day. I'm practicing, go shoot for 2-hour target, 2-hour meditation, but usually almost always will get in at least 1. And then I'll spend some time watching some inspirational. Right now there's a Swami from the Advaita Vedanta tradition, which I've gotten into recently, and very influential. And I came to this after my initial awakening, the Green Buddha. After the Green Buddha, the realization of the universality of the self. And then subsequently went through the Red Buddha and into the Golden Buddha. And I've talked about that. Maybe I'll talk about it again. But in front of me on my desktop, I have a list called Zen Things. And this is my daily reminder. I keep it there the first that they recommend. No, I don't think the order is significant. There's 12 things, but I think it's just how whoever put these together, I don't know where I got them. I just found them posted somewhere. And things are gifted to me. You know? Things come into my life when I need it. I have access to unlimited knowledge. I suspect it. I've never found the limit anyway. But it never comes until I need it. In other words, I know what I need. I know what I need to know when I need to know it. It is gifted. So here we are. This was gifted. Thanks, Cosmos. Do one thing at a time. I'm the master of this. I'm doing this video right now, and that's it. Do it slowly and deliberately. So whatever this one thing at a time is, do it slowly and deliberately. Do it completely. And this is even to enhance, even to emphasize, even ever more, what people call mindfulness today. But don't start something you don't stop. Go through whatever motions is necessary, slowly and deliberately, one thing at a time. Not a multitasker over here. And this practice has pretty much kept my mind in order. My monkey mind is very seldom makes enough noise that I even notice it. It's just kind of superfluous background noise at this point in my life. But of course it's there, the constant monkey mind, you know? The mind of nonsense. But this focus, this is about one thing at a time, slowly and deliberately and completely. Now I love this one. And this is hard for many people to understand, this world where we want to continually strive and improve and have more goals and new goals and endless pursuit of, I don't know what, be it money, power, privilege, property, possessions. I don't know, but this one flies in the face of that. Is do less. And along with this do less, I like how they kind of flow. With this do less, put space between things. So in the spirit of doing less, spend some time between the things that you have to do. And to make this bloom and flourish, it's supported by developing rituals. I very much have a ritualistic life. I live a real ritualistic life. I practice. I have patterns and important things that I do, which will even include my 1 cup of chino, my cup of espresso in the morning. Even my eating habits in my menu is very limited. I basically eat the same thing for breakfast. I have the same breakfast and the same dinner with no lunch. Designated time for certain things. So I'm trained by my kiddies too. They have a time. They know when it's 5, it's dinner time. We live around here on the specific time. I'm supposed to be doing something. And this is my time in the middle of the afternoon, in the heat of the day, before my meditation, that I do my Zen video. Devote time for sitting. Well, that would be next. Sometimes the sharing follows my hour to 2 hour meditation. Sometimes it precedes. Today it precedes. Smile and serve others. This is the practice improving the green heart chakra, anahata, the center, the love, the compassion. Make cleaning, this is a fun one, make cleaning and cooking become meditation. Everything in my life is become meditation, but cooking and cleaning, I love both activities. Keep a clean house, do the cooking for my wife and myself, and I enjoy it. And here's a very practical thing about life. Think about what is necessary. Let's linger on this one a bit. What's necessary in life? Well, breathing. If we want to talk basics, breathing, bathing, the hygiene. My hygiene practice is very important to me. Brushing my teeth thoroughly. And what do I think about when I'm brushing my teeth? Well, what is necessary? Like, did I get this little corner? I did it. Thinking becomes an ally, not an adversary. That's the practice. Because we're always thinking. So make that a part of your practice. And 12 almost goes without saying, live simply. Namaste. Again, I keep constant reminders of this on my desktop. I look at this all the time because I need all the support, all the reminders. So 12 things to remember. And I'm not saying that this should be a ritual, but perhaps you might include some of these things. Maybe you have to add more things. For me, it's pretty complete. And I don't know how you could do less by adding more. You might not follow one of the precepts too well. But that's my daily practice, okay? And I think it's important, for me, it's been very important to develop such habits.